Okay, what's up, my friends? How's everyone doing out there today? This is the training I've been saying I'm going to drop for a while. Actually, okay, just to be real, I did a live training of this and it was terrible and I had to take that down. There was glitchy audio. Okay, I can't be having glitchy audio and this is an audio engineer training. Okay, no. Well, this is not really an audio engineer training. This is really for audio engineers who want to build a six-figure audio engineer business. Okay. Hello, my dear friends. Andre here. In this video, I am revealing for the first time ever the secrets to building a six-figure audio business without freelancing or doing anything for free. In fact, I've never mixed or mastered a song for free in my goddamn life, but we'll get into that later. So you guys ready to start? Are you guys ready to start? You have no choice but to be ready to start. All right, let's get into it. Ready to go. All right. And so, let me turn that off there. What's up with that? Ready to go. Who's ready to go? You guys ready to go? Okay. Now, before we begin, I should say who this training is for, okay? Who is this training for? Who is this training for? Because this training is not for everyone. This training is probably not for your grandma or your grandpa. It might be for your grandpa. Your grandpa might be heavy into the audio game, but this training is for you if you are an audio engineer who specializes in mixing and mastering and you're struggling to get clients and make anywhere from 10 to 15K a month, okay? Then this training is for you, my friend, okay? If you're an artist that mixes and masters your own stuff and you've been doing so for many years and you want to make some money on the side, or you know what, you're like, you know what, I need to make some money off this music thing, then this training is for you, okay? If you're even brand new to mixing and mastering, you know how to mix and master, but you haven't gotten your audio engineer business off the ground and you want to figure out a way to fast track your business and get more clients, then this training is for you. Okay. I should also point out that this training is not for the faint of heart. All right. So if you give up easy, you should close this up right now because that's totally fine. All right. There's no judgment here. This is a judgment-free zone, my friends. Let me show you guys. Judgment-free zone. Okay, this is the judgment-free zone. All right, this is where we are right now. This is all of us in here. We're in this area here. I don't know why we look like this, but this is what we look like. Okay, this is the judgment-free zone, my friends. And so if you're not ready to put in the work, then you should skedaddle. All right, it's cool. Take your time. Take your time. Okay, great. Now that the wieners have left, yes, now that the quitters have left, they're not wieners, they're quitters. But the quitters have left. It's the lifers up in here. The first thing I want to tell you guys, the first thing you really got to know is how every business works. Okay, how does every single business in the world work? And why do you need to know this? You need to know this so you understand the predicament you are in, my friends. Okay, the predicament you are in, my friends. You're in a precarious predicament, my friends. And by predicament, of course, I mean standing on the edge of a cliff with hyenas circling at the bottom. Okay, so here's a cliff. Here's some hyenas down here. Here's you. Okay, this is you right here. I know this is getting very graphic. This is the most graphic audio engineer business training ever. And you see, in every business, there's two major functions, okay? There's two major functions in every business. And there is the procurement side and there's a fulfillment side. And you see, the fulfillment side is not feeling all warm and fuzzy inside, okay? It's not that type of fulfillment we're talking about. It's not the spiritual fulfillment, all right? It's the fulfillment side is the promise the person bought, all right? So when you buy something, it's the promise that the person bought, right? So it's simply doing the thing the person paid for. So for us, it's doing the mixing and mastering, right? So when people buy your mixing and mastering service, they're buying the fact that you're going to do it at a professional level it's going to sound better than whatever they've been doing, pushing dials and pushing buttons and moving things around, right? That's the promise. We're going to do your song. We're going to do your song, man. We're going to professionally mix and master your song, okay? And so the problem for us audio engineers, the big problem, the cliff standing problem, here's the cliff. Here is the hyenas at the bottom of the cliff. And if you've watched The Lion King, you know what hyenas look like. And these drawings here look nothing like hyenas. I know, I'm aware. I'm an artist, but I'm not that kind of artist. No, I can draw. I'm just playing that I can't draw, so I can relate to more of you guys, right? And so, and so, where are we here? Okay. And so the problem for us audio engineers is we usually put all our effort and results into getting better at the fulfillment side, right? We drop thousands on gear and plugins and Pro Tools courses, right? And we spend all this time on groups and forums and Reddits with other audio engineers asking and answering questions, but mostly just shooting the shit. So, some of us even drop 40K on a year on college so that we have a piece of paper that says we know audio engineering, right? We get this nice little fancy piece of paper, audio man, okay, or woman if you're a woman, audio person, okay. We'll be 2022 about it, okay. Audio person, woohoo! What's up, guys? I'm an audio person. I know how to do audio stuff. Okay, great. Good for you, buddy. You made it. And in short, we do all this stuff so we can be good at our craft. But the problem with that is that we don't focus on the other side of business, which is dun 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 dun. It's not number two. It's not taking number two. It really should be number one. But just for suspense purposes, number two is procurement. Okay, what I'm calling procurement. Okay, now what the heck is procurement, Andre? Why are you doing this to me, buddy? What is procurement? Procurement is simply getting the person to buy our promise. And see, many of us spend a ton of effort on getting people to buy from us, right? You may be networking, you may be hanging out at the studio all day, you may be interning, you may be messaging artists and bands on social media, or you may even have a website and are running ads. And my question is, how has that been working out for you, bruh? Right? Great. Then you don't need to read any further, my friend. You don't need to be here any further, my friend. You don't need to be watching this any longer, my friend, or hearing my beautiful voice or this entertaining presentation. You can skedaddle, right? And so if you're not doing great with that stuff and you're not able to support yourself and your family fully from audio engineering, then you are clearly doing something wrong, right? Because there are millions and millions of artists that need their music to sound better, and Lord knows they need your help. So even if you feel you are doing all the right things to get them to buy, if you are doing them incorrectly, you're still doing them wrong. Remember, doing the right things in the wrong way is still wrong, right? So the real question is, how much time and resources have you put into getting better at getting people to buy from you, right? Because getting people to buy from you is a craft in itself and is something you can improve at. What? It is? Oh my God, right? However, if you choose to be like most audio engineers who can't sell their service, you'll end up like most audio engineers quitting music altogether and being forced to get a real job. No real job. I want to do music for life, mama. Right? And to make matters worse, you'll also never become confident at audio engineering because you'll never have enough experience as you can't get people to work with you. I call this problem the thing about McDonald's that most people don't understand. What? Are you bringing Mickey D's into this, man? You see, McDonald's, right? You see, most people think McDonald's sells burgers and fries, but this is not the case. McDonald's sells McDonald's first, and then they sell the burgers and fries. They really selling this, right? So the bad news for you is if you went to audio engineering school and you dropped $40K on tuition, you spent $40K learning how to audio engineer. Okay? In other words, you spent $40K learning how to make the audio burger. Okay? You know how to make an audio burger, my friend. Right? That's fantastic. I'm proud of you. But you didn't learn how to sell that audio burger. You don't know how to sell this thing. Okay? And by audio burger, I mean audio engineer. All right? You guys got to be following me here. All right? And so this brings us to this new era of awareness that we're in, where anyone can bring attention to themselves and their services, right? The problem is most of y'all are bringing either the wrong kind of attention to your service or bringing no attention to your service at all, right? Awareness. I'm just writing down jargon now at this point in the presentation, all right? And so in order to understand how we get awareness, we have to look at the two types of awareness generators, okay? There's two types, all right? We going in now, my friends. It's getting deep at the 12-minute mark. There's outbound awareness and inbound awareness, okay? Now, what the heck is this, bro? What are you teaching us out here? And so outbound is when we reach out to others to work with us. And this can be through DM, cold email, cold calling, networking, freelancing. Inbound is when people reach out to us to work with us. And this could be through word of mouth, referrals, content, social media, advertising. And so the power really is in combining these two to create what I like to call, are you guys ready for it? This is a magical phrase here. Inbound, outbound, awareness. What the, right? Because now we can use technology to do both of these things at the same time. And the power of this dual strategy is that it gets total strangers to trust you before they buy, because it takes advantage of this one sneaky little trait of human evolution, and that is that we must have at least 7 interaction points with someone before trusting them. All right, you guys hearing this? 7 interaction points with someone before trusting them. Okay. Oh, I hope light bulbs are starting to go off in your heads about why people are not buying your service. All right, 7 times. They gotta be. See, I told you guys I could draw. Look at this. What? 7. Okay, 7, and it's no secret why the number 7 is like such a powerful number in spirituality as well, right? You got to have the chakra. How many chakras is there? That's what I thought. How many commandments are there? Oh wait, no, there's 10. Okay, 7 is a powerful number nonetheless. All right, and so people need to see you 7 times or more before they buy from you. So if you're reaching out to artists and bands via DM, you're basically cold calling them. And since they don't have enough interaction points with you to trust you, you end up being ignored. Ignored. And this sad tear. That's not a tattoo. That's a real tear. Okay, so how do we build our interaction points with our ideal clients? In order for anyone to work with you, 3 things must happen, okay? They must know you, they must like you, and they must trust you. Okay. If you don't have one of these three things, if you're not closing the sale, my friend. Okay. You need all three of these things here. Okay. Nike, don't sue me for that check. Okay. And so let's break this down further. Okay. Know you. What does this mean? What does know you mean? Well, obviously people have to know that you exist before they can buy your service, right? So if people don't know you exist, you're not going to be in business very long, right? And so this is why audio engineers who think, oh, I'll just make a website, then the whole world will know me, are fooling themselves, because having a website that nobody knows about is kind of like building a store on the moon, right? It's kind of like, okay, here's the moon, here's your little store, here's Earth, here's where all of us are killing each other and doing all this wild stuff to each other. And here's your store on the moon, and you have no way of telling anyone on Earth about your store on the moon. And nobody on Earth has any way of getting to your little store on the moon. And so that's kind of like what your website is, right? And so, oh, it's cool and all. It's obviously cool to have a website, and it's cool to have a store on the moon, but nobody can get there, right? And secondly, having a website that doesn't know how to sell your service is just as bad as having no website at all. In fact, I recently saw an audio engineer telling other audio engineers to create a free website on Wix, as if this would be enough to convince strangers to work with them. I just rolled my eyes, okay? Do I need to draw that? Okay, just imagine these eyes over here. You guys can see my picture there, right? Imagine these eyes rolling. And remember, making people aware of your service is a skill that is just as important as being able to perform the skill, right? For example, if someone is the best barber in the world, that doesn't mean a thing as long as he's the only one that knows it. But a person who is good at cutting hair and great at letting others know it, well, that's where the riches are, my friend. Okay, let's get into the second point now. Like you, okay? The people need to like you before they work with you. Am I right? Right? Because we barely buy from people we don't like, unless it's like a used car salesman and we're getting a good deal, and chances are we're getting ripped off because he's selling us a lemon. And I'm just imagine the moon is a lemon here. He's selling us this lemon. Bro, why are you doing this to me? And but the majority of the time, if someone's likability is low, we're not going to give them the sale, right? So this is where, even if you are an a-hole, you're going to have to learn to be kind in order to make a living, right? So how do you magically become a kind person? Again, it's a skill to learn kindness, but it starts with accepting who you are is not who you were. Okay? That's very deep. I don't know why I'm dropping deep spiritual truths in this audio engineer business training, but you know what? I decided to. All right. This is about accepting who you are is not who you were. All right. I flipped it around for you guys. Okay. Paying attention. I hope you guys are paying attention. So if you've been a jerk your whole life, that doesn't mean you have to be a jerk now. But again, your attitude is totally up to you. Okay. It doesn't affect me in the slightest. All right. But just don't think you're going to be a six-figure audio engineer by being a jerk, okay? So let's get to the third point. Trust you, okay? This is the most important part of any sale, and that is, does the buyer trust you to fulfill your promise? Remember, a person has to see you at least 7 times. Seven times, okay? 7 times or more. It might be even more now in this day and age. It might be like 15 times before they buy from you, okay? And so, in fact, I've had artists that have known me for 6 years before deciding to buy, all right? And so the question is, how do you build trust? This is the $1 million question here, right? This is the question everyone in the world is trying to figure out. How do I build trust? Trust. This is the currency. This is what money is. Trust. Okay. Now, how do we build it? How do you build trust? There's really 2 ways that you build trust. You show others you're a trustworthy person by showing up consistently, right? And you show up consistently by giving out valuable and helpful information, right? Now, notice what I said. Or notice what I didn't say, actually. Notice I didn't say spam the internet telling everyone to work with you, right? We've all been in FB groups or on forums or on Reddits where people will basically just say, buy my service, buy my service, buy my service. Oh, you need this, buy my service. Okay. And all they get is I don't know. All they get is crickets. Okay. This is my cricket. This is my cricket try. All they get is crickets. Okay. And so why did all they get is crickets? Is because this is like going up to a complete stranger, a girl I've never seen before, and straight up going, "Hey, how's it going? Would you like to marry me?" Right? Sounds like some MTV show. Seriously, getting the sale is like proposing marriage. And just like you want your spouse to get to know you before buying, you want your prospect to get to know you before becoming a client. So how do you do this? The first thing you need to change is your mindset from a give me mindset to a give you mindset. Okay. So I'm not saying you have this mindset. I'm just saying hypothetically, the hypothetical audio engineer who has the give me mindset. Okay. He's this guy over here. He's saying, give me, give me, give me, give me, give me, give me. All about me, 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 me. Look at me. Look at me. Look what I can do. And that mindset needs to be changed to what I call the give you mindset. Give you mindset. Okay. I'm an audio engineer. I'm not a stenographer. Is that the person that has good handwriting? I'm not a calligrapher. Okay, guys. And so the give you mindset is where you give as much as you can to your ideal prospects to build that trust. And so what does that mean? Well, firstly, that does not mean you hang out with audio engineers on the internet all day, right? I'm seeing some of you guys hanging out with audio engineers all day. See, the teeth are getting a little stuck together here. You're hanging out with these guys, the audio engs, all day, and you're not supposed to be doing that. Why? Why shouldn't audio engineers hang out with other audio engineers? Because audio engineers are not your ideal prospects, right? Your ideal prospects are other bands and artists, right? So isn't it a waste of time to be spending any energy giving Pro Tools tutorials to other audio engineers, right? Because audio engineers are not our ideal clients. Okay, I'm going to get a stroke talking like this. All right. This is kind of like, guys, this is kind of like this. All right. Imagine you're a fisherman. Okay. I'm going to really draw a fisherman. This is my fisherman game here. Okay. Imagine you're a fisherman. Here's your pole. How's your pole look? You got the pole like this. Here's the line. And you see a group of other fishermen. Okay. Here's a group of other fishermen. And they're all fishing right here too. Does that make sense to fish where other fishermen are fishing? Does that make logical sense to be like, yeah, this is a great place to fish. Let me catch the fish. They're all over here, right? And so, and first of all, there's no artist in these audio engineer forums. There's very little, that, and especially you want as a client. And so you don't want to be hanging around with other fishermen, and you don't want to be hanging around with other audio engineers. You want to be hanging around with other artists. Okay, go where the fish are. Go where the fish are. Okay, that's a really good writing right there, okay? And now you may be doing all these things, but like I said, if you're doing them wrong, they are still wrong, right? Look, the whole reason why LeBron and Kobe and Jordan had their own personal coaches and trainers is so that they can have someone making sure they're doing the right things the right way, right? Because if you're doing all the right things, but you're doing them the wrong way, they're still wrong, right? Okay, guys, this is now at 25 minutes. I'm going to end this here, but this is just part one. Next week, I'm going to drop part two, go more into depth. If you do want to speak to me about growing your audio engineer business, hit me up on Messenger. I am here for you. Let's go.